Uh, Now our portion, we are coming to this almost mid portion of this unit, or I think we have moved beyond the mid portion. Of course, we have gone a little beyond the mid. Economic importance of insects. Now our focus, economic importance of insects in particular. We are talking about animals, but the focus here is given to the insects from arthropods, the insects, of course, because they are very, very important as far as human economic activity is concerned. Therefore, we shall talk about economic importance of insects in this portion. And when it comes to uh, insect, how what economic importance of insects, let us first see the fact that what makes insects economically important or what economic importance by itself does mean. Insects are unique animals in many aspects, in many ways they are unique. And what makes them unique? What the criteria behind uniqueness of these groups of animals? We can say, for example, they are one of the most diverse. Diversity is one criteria that makes insects very important or unique. Diversity, they are one of the most diverse organisms. The second, they possess high rate of reproduction, very fast, high rate of reproduction, and faster growth rate, faster growth rate. This is another criteria that makes us see these groups of animals known as insects as unique group. And the other criteria for their uniqueness, they have developed adaptation to live almost in every habitat. Maybe you may not find that much number of insects in the Antarctica, the cold environment. Otherwise, they are there everywhere, everywhere. They have developed adaptation to live almost in every ecosystem, every habitat. This is therefore they are everywhere where there are human beings. Then um, they feed on any substance with nutritional value, organic nutrients. They feed on any substance with nutritional value. For example, there are insects which feed on human excreta. Imagine human excreta. The common house flies feed on human waste, animal waste, rotten vegetables, rotten fruits are food sources for different types of insects. Therefore, this is another criteria that makes insects unique group of animals. And when we come to the main issue here, insects hold huge economic importance, huge economic importance in our lives in many different areas. You see, different areas like in the agricultural area, in the food industry, economic importance in agriculture, in the food industry, in the chemical industry, in health and medicine, in pharmaceuticals to produce pharmacological substances from insects. And insects are also very important in the ecosystem for ecosystem balance. Ecosystem balance. They're very crucial. Almost it's impossible for humanity to survive without insects as far as their advantage is concerned. Therefore, when we see economic importance of insects in our life, we may observe the economic importance in the agricultural area, in the food industry, in chemical industry, in health and medicine, in pharmaceutical industry, in ecosystem, the role of insects in the ecosystem, recycling, even if you like ecosystem balance, and even the insects are used for research purpose as far as positive economic importance is concerned. Before we talk about directly the specific economic importance, let us first define what economic importance is. If you are asking, what does economic importance means? Economic importance in different areas, economic importance may be defined in different ways, but when it comes to its context in its biological context, economic importance refers to the purpose of the knowledge in biology as applied to human welfare. The purpose of the purpose of the knowledge of humanity as it is applied for welfare of human beings. Therefore, in other ways, economic importance, basically here, it tries to answer the questions or the question, why do humans study insects? Or what is the importance of knowing about insects? If you answer this, this is the economic importance of insects. Therefore, why do humanity study insects and try to know about insects? What's the importance of knowing, researching, knowing, having the knowledge about everything about insects as animals? Of course, they have economic importance. Economic importance. That means they have negative side as well as positive side. Therefore, we have to see economic importance means not always, not only the advantage, the benefit, but the disadvantage. We study insects because they have beneficial side, so we exploit that beneficial side. We study insects because some insects are harmful to humans, so we avoid their harmful effects only if we know about them. Therefore, you can see this. Thus, economic importance has two aspects. Two aspects. Therefore, whenever you are talking economic importance in its biological context, please, you have to see the two faces. The two faces. One, the positive economic importance, which means the useful aspect, which means the beneficial aspect, the positive. The second is the negative economic importance, which means the harmful aspect, the disadvantages aspect, the disadvantage that we face from insects. Therefore, we shall see the two categories. Now, first, the positive economic importance or the useful aspect of insects. Let's see first it. We study insects because they have many benefits. They give us so that we can efficiently exploit their usefulness. See, whenever you are talking about positive economic importance, you have to know that we are studying insects because they have benefits, so we can exploit their benefits. Imagine knowing about honeybee. Knowing about honeybee is very important to rear honeybees in artificial hives so that they can produce you huge amount of that sweet food, honey. Now we are exploiting these insects in their positive side. Therefore, this is the positive aspect of economic importance. Positive economic importance. Think of the usefulness of insects. Then, when it comes to the the negative economic importance, that means harmful if aspect, here we study insects because they have many harmful effects so that we can effectively avoid their harmful effects. And now we shall talk about the different areas where insects are used or insects are useful to human. That means the positive economic importance or the beneficial aspect of insects. We shall see one by one. Then, when it comes to positive economic importance, usefulness or beneficial aspect of insects, we shall see in agriculture, positive importance, uh, in food industry, in chemical industry, uh, we do have in health and medicine, positive economic importance. There is also positive economic importance in pharmaceutical industries, and many other areas, positive economic importance. When it comes to the agricultural aspect of positive economic importance, uh, we have to first talk about their role as pollinators. pollinators, primarily pollinators, as pollinators. Think of our crop plants. Think of those crop plants in our agricultural fields, which are vital to provide the most important basic need of humanity, that's food, food crops. Without pollinating insects, without reproduction, it's impossible to produce those crop plants which need insects as pollinators. Imagine. Therefore, agriculture is one vital economic activity by humans that involves crop production as well as animal husbandry, of course, animal production. And main areas of benefits of insects in agriculture, in crop production, is, of course, in agriculture as pollinators, in agriculture in general, as pollinators, uh, as, plus as pest regulators. Pest regulators. Some insects feed on other insects, which are harmful insects, or some insects parasitize and finally kill. We call such insects parasitoids. Some insects are predators. Just these insects catch and eat and kill eat other insects, which are harmful insects. If one insect is eating another harmful insect, that is benefit for us. Some insects not directly catch and eat, but parasitize and slowly kill, finally kill. These are known as parasitoids. I will tell you about these important areas. Therefore, the other economic importance in agriculture is when insects are used as pest regulators. They destroy those pests. What are pests? Pests are harmful insects which feed on our agricultural crops. They destroy agricultural crops. We don't need them. They are negative. So there are positive insects which catch and eat or parasitize insect these pests and destroy them. Therefore, this is advantage for agriculture. It is positive economic advantage or positive economic importance in agriculture of insects in agriculture. Pest as pest regulator. The other is insects are also positively used in soil aeration and nutrient recycling, because we have said that insects feed on everything, almost every nutritional material, even excreta, waste material, or even fallen leaves are eaten by insects, so that their material is returned into the soil. Therefore, they help in recycling of nutrients. And some insects which grow in the ground just make tunnels in the ground, so that they are very important for aeration of the soil. They make air to move, circulate throughout the soil, so that plants will benefit. If there is sufficient oxygen in the soil, roots of plants use the oxygen in the soil. Therefore, such insects which burrow the land and make tunnels through which water and air can easily circulate, that's good for agriculture, that's good for forestry. This is very important. Therefore, in soil aeration and nutrient recycling, when it comes to the first aspect, insects as pollinators, insects serve as pollinators to many wild as well as crop plants. Wild forestry plants, forestry is also plus crop plants. Some plants even can only be pollinated by specific insects, without which the plant can't reproduce. Specific. What some species of plants require specific insects. Specific insects, without which they can't reproduce. Even they have highly evolved adaptation of plants, flowers, and insects. Miracle, really. Some flowers are shaped in evolution to resemble the female of one particular insect. The external anatomy of the flower looks like the female of that particular insect, which is the only pollinator of that flowering plant. So that when the male comes, the flower resembles the female body. So it tries to copulate or make sex. While doing this, it is transferring pollen. Pollination is ensured successful. Therefore, even there are many adaptations. You see, therefore, insects and flowering plants, insect pollinated flowering plants have developed parallelly. That's in their evolution is parallel. The change in the insect brought change in the flower of the flowering plant. The change in the flower of the flowering plant brought change in course of time, brought change in the insect. Therefore, there is parallel evolution in which the change in the pollinated plant flower has caused change in the insect or vice versa. Therefore, this is really a big mystery that plants solve their problem of pollinator. Therefore, insects serve as pollinators both only to forest plants as well as crop plants. Some plants even can only be pollinated by specific insects without which pollination is impossible and reproduction is impossible. Then what happens if there is no reproduction? Extinction, as I've told you. Now, when it comes to this insect pollinated plants and their developed adaptations, insect pollinated plants have developed numerous adaptations to attract their insect pollinators. Insect pollinated flowers. If you are asked, how do flowering plants or insect pollinated plants attract the insects to come so that pollination can be ensured? Yeah, they have developed in their flower, they have developed adaptations. For example, they are colorful. By appearance, colorful. So they attract by their petals. The petals are large and colorful, plus the pollen is also rich. Pollen is rich in protein, plus nectar is rich in sugar. So protein and sugar, they are nutrients. So this attract insects. So pollination is ensured. Plus, as I have told you, petals with bright colors attract. Plus, strong fragrance or scent. The smell that insects sniff by their antennae. So that also attracts insects to come. And also there are nectar guides. Once the insect comes and lands on the flower, there are lines on the petal. These lines, natural lines, guide the insect towards the exact point of pollination. It guides the insect so that it comes through those lines, which are known as nectar guides. It feeds on the nectar, then after feeding on the nectar and coming back, it ensures pollination. There are many important pollinating insect species in these orders, class, insecta. There are many orders. Most important orders, of course, this is not part of the text. Most important orders, look, order Hymenoptera. Hymenoptera includes bees, wasps, ants. Please, I am making the case of bees. Red colored and bigger, as you observe in this slide. Why do you think I'm focusing on bees? Oh, bees. Bees are not only making that sweet honey, they are really very, very important in pollination of many of our crop plants. Let me tell you what entomologists tell you or tell us. You may not believe this. If we destroy all bees from our planet, the biosphere, if we destroy all bees, imagine there are thousands of different species of bees. If we destroy all bee species from our biosphere, the human species, we humans, will then after will survive only for 4 or 5 years. Then after, what happens after 4 or 5 years? We perish. You believe that? We will be starved and we will die because of starvation. Imagine the contribution of bees in pollinating our agricultural crops so that we survive. Imagine. Then always think, whenever you are killing one bee, you are doing a mess in the ecosystem. Think this, please. Therefore, bees are really not only insects which make that sweet food, honey, medical value, a food not only nutritional but also has medical value. They are also vital to pollination, forest plants, as well as pollinating agricultural crops. You see, this is miracle. I will repeat. If we totally destroy all species of bees from our ecosystem, from our planet, the humanity or human beings can only live 4 to 5 years. Then after, starve to death. This is, I think, in short, this can tell you how much important they are, not only in production of honey, but in the process of pollination. The others are wasps to some extent, and also ants are also helping. But compared to the bees, their role is negligible or very small. The other order is Lepidoptera. Very important. These are also very important. Smart butterflies and moths. Butterflies, especially butterflies. Of course, butterflies do have the larval form of butterflies. Most butterflies, the larval form is it is very very destructive. የሞዝ ላርቫ ትሉ በየቅጠሉ ላይ የምታዩት ትል ይሄ የበተርፍላዮች ላርቫ ትሎች ናቸው። እልፈጅ በሊታ ናቸው። ግን በተርፍላዩ ኔክታር ነው የሚበላው። ጀስት ሞዝ ኔክታር ፖሊኔተሮች ናቸው። አስ አዳልት ኦኬ አስ ላርቫ they are enemies ምንድነው የሚባሉት? ፔስት ናቸው። ላርቫቸው ፔስት ነው። አዳልታቸው ሰየው የሚባል የፖሊኔሽን ስራ ቢሰራ ለውበትም ስታዩት ቢራቢሮ ውበትም ነው። ውበትም ናቸው። የተፈጥሮ ውበት ናቸው። ሌፒዶፕተራ ውስጥ ነው ያሉት። ሌፒዶፕተራ therefore then ዲፕቴራ የነ ቤት ውስጥ ዝንቦች ሁሉ ያሉበት ክፍል ነው። ግን ዝንብ ሲባል ማአት አይነት ዝንብ አለ። በጣም ብዙ ዳይቨርስ ነው። ፍላይስ ነው ብንላቸው there are flies which feed on nectar። የቤት ውስጥ ዝንብ አይደለች። ሌሎች ዝንቦች አሉ ኔክታር የሚበሉ። ስለዚህ አበባን ፖሊኔት ያደርጋሉ። ፍላይስ ዲፕቴራ። ሌላው ኮሊዮፕተራ ቢትልስ፣ የእንስሳ ዝርያ የምንላቸው ቢትልስ፣ እነዚህም በፖሊኔሽን ውስጥ ከፍተኛ አስተዋጽኦ አላቸው። these are very important examples of pollinators with their respective order. you see በሄራርኪ ምንድነው? ከክላስ ቀጥሎ ኦርደር ነው ያለው። ከክላስ ቀጥሎ ኦርደር ነው። just ክላስ ኢንሴክታ ብዙ ኦርደሮች አሉ። ወደ 10 ኦርደሮች አሉት። እዚህ ውስጥ ተጠቀሱት 4 ኦርደሮች ናቸው ቬሪ ኢምፖርታንት የሚባሉት ኦርደሮች እና ኤግዛምፕል ኦፍ በእያንዳንዱ ኦርደር ውስጥ ያሉ ኤግዛምፕል ኦፍ ኢንሴክትስ ምን የሚያደርጉ pollinators. Then when it comes to this let me tell you this statistics. For example, about 35% of crop plant production yield is the result of insect pollination, which is huge economic value. 35% of crop plant production yield is due to pollinators. Imagine pollinators. And can we quantify their value? ወደ ኢኮኖሚክስ ልንቀይረው እንችላለን። ይሄን ቫልዩ በገንዘብ ሲተመን ምን ያህል ይሆናል? 35% የግብርና ምርታችን የኢንሴክቶች የፖሊኔሽን ጥረት ውጤት ነው። ይሄ በገንዘብ ቢተመን ምን ይሆናል? ይህን ሰርተውታል። Yes, of course, we can quantify in terms of economics. It has been working on this. ከ235 እስከ 577 235 to 577 ቢሊዮን ዩኤስ ዶላር ይገመታል። በአመት ውስጥ ኢንሴክቶች ፖሊኔት በማድረግ ምርት እንዲመረት ያደረጉት ምርቱ ተሰብስቦ ወደ ገንዘብ ቢቀየር በእነሱ ምክንያት የተመረተው ምርት ወደ ገንዘብ ቢቀየር ከ235 እስከ 577 ቢሊዮን ዩኤስ ዶላር ወደ ኢትዮጵያ ገንዘብ ስታመጡት እንግዲህ ያው ሀገር ሙሉ ገንዘብ በሉት የሀገር ሙሉ ብር። Then insects are we have seen the insects as pollinators important ናቸው. Briefly I will advise you to go and read about parallel evolution of flowering plants and their insect pollinators. Please go and read how miraculously these two organisms are evolving in a parallel fashion. That means one is evolving by seeing the change in the other. This is parallel evolution. You will learn about evolution in grade 12. Anyway, now when it comes to the second economic importance of, the second positive economic importance of insects, we come to the insects which are used as pest regulators. You see, what are pests? Pests are harmful insects which feed on our agricultural crops. Not only agricultural crops, they also destroy forests. Oh, these are our enemies. We don't need them. Therefore, if there are other insects which can harm, kill and eat or use them as means of reproduction for the young so that finally they will be killed, these are good insects. Therefore, what do we call these insects? These insects are pest controlling insects or pest regulating insects. They don't harm our ecosystem, they don't harm us. By killing those harmful insects, they help humanity. Otherwise, pests, agricultural pests, crop pests are causing huge loss in agriculture. Every year, around I think I do have the statistics here. I will tell you, around 40% of the agricultural crops are destroyed because of pests, which eat the stem, the root, the flower, the seed of our agricultural crops. We don't need that, but we do have this best or good friends, pest regulators, which catch and eat. They are divided into two. Some insects are predators. They catch and eat and destroy pests. The second group, parasitoids. What do parasitoids do? I do have comparison. What is the difference between predatory insects, predatory insects and parasitoid insects? The predatory insects catch and eat, immediately destroy, immediately eat. The parasitoids catch an insect pest and inject some chemical into its brain and they paralyze it and they lay their eggs inside the body of the pest. So the eggs, by using the body of the pest, the eggs are changed into larva. The larva feeds on the insect's body, finally killing it. So, you see, the insect is not directly catching and consuming or eating the pest. Rather, it paralyzes the pest insect and lays the egg. The egg will be incubated inside the body of the pest insect by using, when it becomes larva, from egg to larva, when it becomes worm, it feeds on the body of the pest insect, so that this is finally, of course, finally the pest insect is destroyed. It's consumed by the larva of the parasitoid. The larva of parasitoid consumes and completes everything so that it will be killed, but it is not immediately killed. Just it is made not to die, just paralyzed, unable to move or fly or whatever. It rests at some point, at some place. Then in this process, the egg changes into larva. The larva consumes the body into pupa. Pupa is non-feeding stage, transforms. When it finishes its larval stage, when it changes from larva to pupa, already consumed the insect. The only part of the insect pest that remains is the exoskeleton. The internal organs, all the internal organ tissues are destroyed eaten by the larva. You see, these are known as parasitoids. Parasitoids, okay? And we shall talk about this anyway. Okay, now some insects are predators or parasitoids to other harmful insects called pests, and thus they attack and feed on these harmful insects. When it comes especially parasitoids, predators. This is, of course, natural biological control. Natural biological control of pests. You see, of course, artificially, humanity is using chemicals, insecticides. Chemicals are sprayed in the agricultural field to kill pests. This using pesticides or pest killer chemicals have two major negative sides. It pollutes the environment, plus it may also kill other beneficial insects. That's not good. Controlling pests by using predatory insects or parasitoid insects is biological means of control, which is safe. No environmental pollution, no harm to the environment. You see, this is far better than using insecticides or pesticides. Therefore, this is natural biological control and plays an important role in limiting potential pest population. Then, important insects in pest regulation include mantis, lady beetles, ground beetles, and rock beetles, flower bugs, lacewigs, and the hover flies. These are predatory insects, important insects in pest regulation. Some of these are wasps, especially wasps. Do we have here? These are predatory, of course. For example, Stagmomantis insect. It is an insect. Stagmomantis insect. This species of mantis feed on grasshoppers and caterpillar. Caterpillar is the worm that feeds on agricultural plants. These Stagmomantis insects are predatory, voracious predator. You can see this insect here. የማርያም ፈረስ ነው ብለን የምንጠራት የማርያም ፈረስ እንላታለን። እቺ በጣም የምትገርም ኢንሴክት ነች። የምትገርም ኢንሴክት። አንዳንዶቹ እንደውም ገዘፍ ያሉት እባብም ይዞ ለመብላት ከባብ ጋር ሁሉ ቢታገሉ I have seen in National Geography አንዴ ከች ያደረገው አንድ ማንቲስ ነው የሚሏቸው እነዚህ የማርያም ፈረስ ዝርያዎች እባብ እንትኑ ላይ ተጣብቃ ለቅ ብለው of course በጣም ትብሎ እሺ ግን ያው ሳይዛቸው የተለያየ ነው አትችለውም ልትበላው አትችልም of course ድፍረቷ ነው እና በጣም ምርጥ ፕሪዳተር ነች እቺ ምርጥ ንቅ አርጋ እንደውም እነዚህ እንትን አላቸው ካኒባሊዝም ታሪክ አላቸው እነዚህ ኢንሴክቶች they do have history of cannibalism ሴክስ ላይ ቀስ ብሎ ነው ወንዱ አነስ ይላል ሳይዙ ሴቷ ገዘፍ ትላለች ያው ከእንቁላል ጋር የተያዘ እንቁላል በብዛት መጣል ስላለባት ሰውነቷ ገዘፍ ይላል ሴክስ ያረጋት ኦቪፖሲተር ተክሎ ወደ ውስጥ ኢንሲሚኔት እያደረገ ኢንተርናል ፈርቲላይዜሽን ኢንሴክቶች ኢንተርናል ፈርቲላይዜሽን ትበላዋለች። ጭንቅላቱን ቆርጣ ትበላዋለች። ወደታች ጎትታ ላይዋ ላይ የተጫነውን ወንዱን ኢንሴክት ጎትታ ትበላዋለች። ናቸራው ወንዱን ትበላዋለች። the male becomes meat እሷ ያበላችሁን ለልጆቿ የሚተርፋን እንግዲህ ስንቅ ነው። ወደ ስብ ይቀየራል። የልጆቿ ማድረጊያ ነው፣ ኢንኩቤት መድረጊያ ነው። በቃ መጨረሻ ላይ ወንዙን ግን የሚገርመው ጭንቅላቱም ተቆርጦ ኢንሲሚኔት እያደረጋት ስፐርም እየሰጣት ራሱ ጭንቅላቱም ተቆርጦ ስፐርም ማስወጣት ይችላል። ወደ እሷም ጭንቅላቱ ያስፈልገውም የስፓይናል ኮርድ ነርቮች አሉ። የነሱ በጀርባ በኩል ያሉ ነርቮች አሉ። እነሱ ነርቮች ይጨርሱታል ስራው። ጭንቅላቱ ቆርጦ ሁሉ አክቲቭ ነው። ሌላ ሰውነቱ ኢንሲሚኔት እያደረጋት ኢንሰርቲንግ ሴመን የዘር ፍሬውን እያስገባ ነው። እና ኢቭን ወንዶቻቸውን የሚበሉ ናቸው እነዚህ ሴቶቹ። አዘርዋይስ ሁሉም ግን ፔስት የምንላቸው አትግደሉ፣ ፕሊዝ ዶንት ኪል ዲስ። ስማርት ናቸው፣ በጣም ስማርት ናቸው። አናቃቸውም፣ ስናቃቸው እንጠነቀቅላቸዋለን። እንግዲህ ኢንቫይሮንመንት ላይ እነዚህ አዳኝ ናቸው። የገበሬው ጠላት የሚባሉ ፔስቶችን ዲስትሮይ በማድረግ ክሮፕ ምርታችን እንዳይቀንስ የሚያደርጉ ናቸው። therefore don't kill please mantis, any mantis don't kill. the other እዚህ ጋር እንዳያችሁት ፋይድስ አሉ። ፋይድስ እነዚህ የአግሪካልቸር ጠላት የሚባሉ ኢንሴክቶች ናቸው። አግሪካልቸር ኤነሚስ ኦፍ አግሪካልቸር ፋይድስ በጣም በፈጣን ይራባሉ። ፕሊታዎች ናቸው። ሰክረው የሚያደርጉት በዚህ በፕሮቦሲስ ወቅተው መምጠጥ ነው እና እሱ ያደርጋሉ። እቺን ድሮ በሕፃንነታችን ብለን እጃችን ላይ ያደረገን እንጫወትባት ነበር። ሌዲ በርድ ነው የምትባለው። ሌዲ በርድ ቢትል ናቸው። የጤዛ ዝርያ ናቸው እነዚህ ሌዲ በርድ ቢትልስ ሌዲ በርድ ቢትልስ። እነዚህ ቢትሎች የአፋይድ ጠላቶች ናቸው። Lady bird beetles feed on aphids. What are aphids? Aphids are enemies of our croplands. This is what? This is biological control, please. Safe from environmental pollution, biological control. Okay? Therefore, talk about ladybird beetles. Ladybird beetles are predators which feed on aphids. So, this is biological control. They control the number of fish. እነዚህ ባይኖሩ if this number of ladybird beetle are low or totally absent from an ecosystem, this will multiply in large amount and destroy our croplands. That's not good. The other, as you observe here, here is an example. Chilomenes ladybird. This one is the Chilomenes sulphurae species, very important as predator of the aphid, of course. Epicauta. This is blister beetle. There are many different types of blister beetles. You may be familiar with this one, of course. Otherwise, there are many different species. This bristle beetle, they are all bristle beetles. Then these bristle beetles feed on the eggs of locust. You see, locust. Our number one enemy for agriculture, locust. አንበጣ አንድ ወቅት ላይ የአንበጣ መንጋ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ተሰውሳላችሁ። የቅርብ ጊዜ ተዘጋጀ ከኬንያ 2013 ነው። ከኬንያ መጣ ተብሎ ሰው አለቀ። በአንድ ጊዜ ግዙፍ ሰራዊት ሆኖ አየር ላይ ዳመና ሰርቶ ይመጣውና እንዴ ከወረደ እንግዲህ ስትሮ ያደረገና ይሄ ሎከስት የገበሬው ቁጥር አንድ ጠላቶች ናቸው። ሎከስት ኮንትሮል እንደውም ኢንተርናሽናል ህግ ሁሉ አለ። ሎከስት ኮንትሮል በጎረቤት ሀገር ሰዶ ሲመጣ ዝም ማለት የለበትም። ቦርደር ላይ whatever, therefore international laws are there to control because they are voracious, they destroy, they come in large number, they can migrate long distance. their destruction is huge. ሎከስ አንበጣ የሎከስቱን እንቁላል ነው የሚበሉት እነዚህ። እንቁላሉ ተበላ ማለት ብዙ አይራባም። ብዙ ካልተራባ በሰራዊት ወረራ ያደረገ የግብርና ሰብላችንን አይጨርስም። እነዚህ ስለዚህ what are these biological ፕሪዳተሮች ናቸው። ፕሪዳተር ሆነው ግን አንበጣውን ይዘው አይደለም የሚበሉት። የአንበጣው እንቁላል ነው ለነሱ። እንቁላል ተመጋቢዎች ናቸው። የአንበጣው እንቁላል ነው ለነሱ ምርጥ ምግብ። እንቁላሉ ከተበላ የት አባቱ ይራባል? thank you lady birds and blister beetles, thank you for your predatory service to our crop, to our farmers. Then now let's see predatory insects and versus parasitoid insects. Let us compare and contrast these two. Look, predatory insects are insects that capture and eat another insect or animal, the prey. This is prey-predator relationship. The prey is eaten by the predator, just like lion and zebra. The zebra is prey, the lion is predator. Here, one insect is predator, the other insect is prey. The prey insect is pest. It's our enemy. So, the predator insect is our friend. It kills our enemy insect, the prey. And it catches and eats. Then, this act is called predation. The process is known as predation. And predation in insect is common. It's common. There are some insects which eat other insects. And the adults and young of groups such as, I'm telling you, mantids I've shown you, mantids, dragonflies, damsflies, lacewigs, scorpion flies, and alder flies are predators. Please say thank you to these groups of insects, this group, the predatory insects. They eat which group? The enemies of human beings in agriculture, the pests. Okay? Therefore, what are predatory insects? These are directly move, catch, and eat, consume. Predatory insects. Examples are given here in red. When it comes to parasitoid insects, this insect is a parasitoid is an organism that has young that develops on or within another organism. You see, such insects, parasitoid insects, have young or kids, babies that feed inside or on other insects or other animals, other organisms as a parasite. So the adult comes and lays its egg inside these insects. So the egg is hatching. The egg changes to larva. The larva is feeding stage. The larva feeds the insect's body and finally kills it. The parasitoids do not kill at once. At least the insect remains living until the larva completes its larval stage and changes into pupa. When the larva is ready to change into pupa, the animal has been killed, the pest animal has been killed, and what remains is the non-digestible, non-eatable part of the chitin, exoskeleton. You see? Therefore, these are organisms, and these organisms have adaptation. What sort of adaptation? Oh, their larva, their young or their larva is using as other insect as food and developing to change into pupa, then adult. Okay? Therefore, parasitoid. Parasitoid insects include species of wasps. Imagine there are very intelligent wasps. which go and inject some chemical into the brain of other pest insects so that the brain becomes under control of this wasp. It drags it into cool environment, puts it there, and turn its back, and then injects its eggs into the body, ensuring the eggs will change to larva. The larva eats the body of that pest, then changes into pupa. The pupa transforms into adult. The adult comes out of the carcass or the dead body of that pest insect that has been parasitized. You see, wasps especially, and there are some flies also. Some flies. Then beetles are also there. Beetles. If you are asked to tell about flies, these torch-reed flies are very important. Go and search for these torch-reed flies, how they parasitize their host, the host insect, the pest, and inject their eggs into, and the egg is incubated inside the body of these flies, torch-reed flies. Then beetles. Now, this we have